You know, the words we use every day are kind of like little time capsules. They carry secrets from a past we can't see. And it turns out, just one single sound can unlock a totally surprising and ancient connection between Korean and Japanese.
Okay, let's jump right in. On the left, you've got the Korean word Guyu, which is a manger, a feeding trough for animals. And on the right, the Japanese word kubo, meaning a hollowed-out space, like a dent in the ground. I mean, at first glance, a wooden box for animal feed and a sunken piece of land, what in the world could they have in common?
And right there, that's our big mystery. How could these two words from two different languages with seemingly different meanings actually be related? To figure this out, we have to stop thinking like we're reading a dictionary and start thinking like code breakers.
To crack any code, you need a key, right? Well, for this linguistic code, the key is hidden in the actual sounds of the words themselves. It's a concept that goes back thousands of years.
The tool we're going to use is this really cool idea called sound symbolism. It's basically the theory that some sounds aren't just random noises our mouths make. They actually carry a core primal meaning all on their own. Think of it like the sound of an action getting baked right into the word for that action.
And here it is. This is our secret key. The theory goes that in ancient Korean and related languages, the g or k sound wasn't just another letter. It actually symbolized a physical action, the act of carving or digging or hollowing something out. This one simple idea, this is what's going to unlock everything. Okay, so we have our key. Now let's go back to our two mystery words and see if this key actually fits the lock. So check this out. The Korean gayu starts with gu. The Japanese kubo starts with ku. Both of them kick off with that G/K carving sound. And what is a gayu? It's a trough, usually made by hollowing out a log. And what is a kubo? It's a space that is hollowed out. They're describing the exact same root action. Even the sounds at the end connect through a known linguistic pattern, where sounds often shifted between the languages over the centuries.
And bam! There it is, our first big breakthrough. These aren't just two random words that sound kind of similar. They seem to be linguistic siblings, both born from the exact same physical concept, the act of making a space by carving something away.
But hey, one example could be a coincidence, right? Fair enough. Let's strengthen the case with another piece of evidence. There's an old Korean dialect word for a manger, guisung. Meanwhile, in ancient Japanese, a box or container was called koso. Look at that again. The sound correspondence is just perfect. The G matches the K, and the S matches the S, and both words describe a container. And it gets even cooler. The origin of that Japanese word koso is thought to be a mashup of ki, which means wood, and kuchi, which means mouth or opening. So, a wooden thing with an opening. I mean, that's a perfect description of a box, and it totally reinforces our main idea.
So what we're realizing is that we haven't just found one or two connections. We've actually stumbled upon an entire family of words, all linked by this one ancient sound. Let's see just how deep this rabbit hole goes.
First up, we have the Korean Gama, which can mean a kiln, a big pot, or even an old-school palanquin, and the Japanese Kama for a kiln or a pot. What do all of these things have in common? They are all hollowed out enclosed spaces, and the sounds? G/K and M/M, a perfect match.
Next, let's look at the Korean word for a cave, gul, and the Japanese word for a warehouse, Kura. Now that might seem like a stretch, but think about it. What were the very first warehouses? They weren't buildings, they were natural caves or pits that people dug to store things. A warehouse is really just a man-made cave.
And how about this one? The Korean gumong, meaning a hole, and the Japanese kuma, which means a corner or a recessed, secluded spot. A corner is essentially an indentation, right? It's a small hollow in a bigger space. Once again, that core idea of a hollowed-out space connects them. You see the pattern here, right? It is just way too consistent to be a coincidence. We've seen it connect mangers and caves, kilns and warehouses, holes and corners. This ancient G/K sound, that means to carve, is like an invisible thread tying all these different words together across both languages.
Now here's where it gets really mind-blowing. This ancient sound code isn't just locked away in some dusty old words. It's actually hiding in something you probably use every single day.
Let's just trace this journey together. It all starts with our root idea, that G sound for a carved space, combined with an M sound,
which in ancient languages often symbolized a mouth or an enclosure. That gives us Gama, the word for a kiln, a hollow enclosed space. Okay, so then over time, a really common thing happens in language. The softer lip sound M hardens a little bit into the B sound. And so Gama becomes gabong, the modern Korean word for a bag.
That's right. Just let that sink in for a second. The bag you carry on your shoulder is a direct linguistic descendant of the word for an ancient earthen kiln. Why? Because at their very core, they're both hollow, enclosed spaces designed to hold something. The ancient code is literally still with us. So let's just step back and appreciate the sheer scale of what we've uncovered here. This isn't just about a few interesting word pairs. It's about a massive network of ideas, all sprouting from one simple physical action from our distant past.
We started this whole journey with a simple animal feeder, but with our secret key, we connected it to caves, kilns, holes, warehouses, and yeah, all the way to the modern bag. All of these completely different objects belong to one enormous linguistic family, all united by that ancient sound of hollowing something out.
It's just an incredible illustration of the power of language, isn't it? A single sound, an echo of a simple action our ancestors performed thousands of years ago, can connect the most unrelated parts of our world, from a primitive cave to the bag you're carrying today.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a connection this deep was hidden in a sound as common as G or K, what other ancient codes, what other forgotten stories are hiding in the words that we speak every single day?